Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum is still playing out this short-term warning signal, while Chainlink is doing the same as well in the short term, playing out this warning signal, while the price of XRP is now testing and actually bouncing from this critical line on the price chart during this breakout, while the price of Solana is technically still trending in the bearish direction. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Ethereum chart, and right now the price of ETH is technically still in a larger bull market, but as I've been saying for a while now on the channel, we still have a lot of resistance at pretty much exactly 4.1k on this 3-day Ethereum chart. And if we're taking a look at the daily Ethereum chart, we have a lot of resistance in this price range, sitting in between around 3.9k to 4.1k, and obviously that's exactly where the price has been struggling at as expected, because I've been talking about this happening since before all of this happened weeks ago. And so once again, in case you're new to all of this, in case you're new to the channel, expect a lot of resistance. Expect the price to struggle in this price range, especially around 4.1k approximately, acting as major resistance. But once we can eventually see a confirmed breakout above 4.1k, ideally with candle closes at least on the daily time frame, but ideally a weekly candle close above 4.1k, then after that actually confirms, expect a move up towards the all-time high at just underneath $5,000. Around 4.8 to 4.9k. But before we can expect that move towards the all-time high, once again, we still have a lot of resistance at around 4.1k. And if we're taking a look at this daily Ethereum chart right here, technically speaking, we still have this bearish divergence, which is technically active right now, with higher highs confirmed in the price and lower highs confirmed in the RSI. And so over the last one day, we came close to possibly seeing a breakout into a new higher high here in the price. But as of right now, that is not yet confirmed. And even if that did confirm, even if we did create a slight higher high in the price, if the RSI is still sitting in lower highs, that'll just reconfirm a new bearish divergence, essentially extending this bearish divergence. And so as I've also been saying for a while now on the channel, in order to completely invalidate this bearish divergence, ideally we also need to see a breakout in the RSI alongside the price, which means a breakout in the RSI above this line of resistance and ideally into new higher highs in the RSI, because if we have higher highs in the RSI at the same time as confirming higher highs in the price, then there's no divergence at all. But in the current situation that we're in right now, technically speaking, this bearish divergence is still active, which essentially tells us just in the shorter term here, as in the coming days, maybe another week, that sort of time frame, in the somewhat short term, expect a lack of bullish momentum, which means either short-term pullbacks or just some choppy sideways price action. So lacking bullish momentum in the shorter term while this is playing out. And of course, we're still running into that major resistance, which is another reason why the price is struggling around this area. But when it comes to support, in case for whatever reason we see another major rejection from this resistance, in that case we have a lot of support in this region on the price chart, sitting in between around 34.30 to 35.60. But before then, I would expect some support at around 37.30 based on previous resistance and previous support now acting as new support. And zooming back into this daily time frame, would also likely find some support right around here if we were to see a bit of a pullback, sitting at around 35.60. And so over the last one day, not a lot has changed for Ethereum. We're still seeing all of this price action that I've been expecting for weeks now on the channel, with the price struggling around this resistance during a larger bull market. And if we're taking a look at Chainlink on the weekly time frame, we're also seeing something very similar for Chainlink as what I just said for Ethereum, with the price technically still in a larger bull market here, but struggling around a lot of short-term resistance. And this short-term resistance for Chainlink is starting at approximately $31 and going up towards around $34 based on this Fibonacci level at close to $31 and these previous highs at close to $34. And so once again, as I've been saying for a while now on the channel, expect the price to struggle in that low $30 price range. But once we can eventually see a confirmed breakout above $34, then in that case, the next price target I'll be paying attention to is sitting at around $50 to $53 based on the all-time high, and we'll likely find some resistance at around $50 to $53. But above that, the next price target would be the price target for this massive cup and handle pattern, which, in case you're wondering, is sitting at around $90. But obviously between now and then, we have a long way to go and we have a lot of resistance between now and then, which is causing the price to struggle around those levels. And so technically speaking, when we're talking about the larger trend, the bull market on the larger timeframes, that at least as of right now is still intact, technically speaking. It's just right now we're running into key short-term resistance, as I've already been warning about for a while now on the channel. And of course, zooming into the 4-hour time frame, another signal I've been warning about for a while is of course this bearish divergence, which is technically still playing out. And so once again, as I've been saying day after day after day, this simply means we're likely going to see either a bit of a pullback in the short term, or at the very least, just some choppy sideways price action. So basically a lack in bullish momentum in the shorter term. And technically speaking, this is still currently active. And so this is still the situation in the short term. Nothing has really changed over the last one day. And this is still the situation in terms of the longer term. But of course, if two different timeframes are telling us two different things, so the longer term more bullish and the shorter term currently a bit more bearish at the moment, technically speaking, this can give us some opportunities here. For example, lower prices to essentially have a lower entry for a larger long position. Or we can obviously use these signals right here, these warning signals, these bearish divergences, to take a small amount of profits off the table. If you're already in a long position here, take a small amount of profits and then even add to a position potentially after we see these things play out, while we're still looking bullish on the larger timeframes. And so of course we can use these signals to our advantage, and we can even make money during bearish price action with short positions. But personally, when it comes to short positions, I try not to short too often during a larger bull market, because usually during these larger bull markets, technically speaking, the longs are more profitable than the shorts. And if you want to actually trade these moves in the price of any crypto, personally, I've been taking a lot of my trades right now over on BTNX. So I'll make sure to leave a link to BTNX below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim an exclusive deposit bonus, but that's only available using the link below this video. So if you simply just click that link, once again, it'll take you to this page where you can make your account, deposit $100 worth of crypto and get a $20 bonus, or deposit 500 USDT and get a $100 bonus, or deposit just 1,000 USDT and start trading and get $200 straight into your account, only if you use that link. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link below this video. And in case you're wondering, BTNX is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But for whatever reason, if you don't want BTNX, there is also Bybit as another exchange out there, another option that I personally trade on as well from time to time. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit as well down below this video. And if you use that link, you can claim a 500 USDT position airdrop. So basically a free $500 trade for any of these cryptos right here, which you can find using that link below this video. But this is only available if you use that link to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account. But with that being said, taking a look at the price of XRP on the weekly time frame, and technically speaking, XRP is still trading in between this major level of support and major level of resistance. So of course, we have significant support at close to $2 and significant resistance in between around $2.90 to $3. As I've been saying for a long time now on the channel, since before we saw this rejection, I've been talking about strong resistance at close to $3. And now, technically speaking, the price of XRP has not fully invalidated the larger bull market here. So technically speaking, yes, we can remain within a larger bull market despite short-term pullbacks that we see along the way. Of course, we can see little short-term pullbacks during a larger bull market, just like how during a bear market, we can see little bounces back to the upside here and there during a bear market. And now if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 4-hour time frame, over the last couple of days, obviously we saw that breakout from this bullish flag pattern right here, breaking out above this descending line of resistance, which was a short-term bullish signal. And even right now with this latest little pullback right here, the price is obviously still above the point of the breakout. So if, for example, you entered a long position at around this breakout or at this retest right here, right now you'll still be in profits even after this slight little pullback here. But of course, the technical price target for this breakout has still not been hit, because the technical price target for this potential bull flag pattern right here is sitting at around $3.80. So from where we are right now, at least as of recording this video, to that price target, that's still around a 47-48% move towards the upside, so nearly a 50% move towards the upside from where we are right now as of recording this video. But like I say, basically every day here on the channel, even though we have a bullish price target in play based on this pattern, of course, we cannot ignore resistance. The price can still struggle around important points of resistance and see rejections along the way while we're playing out this price target. And of course, strong areas of resistance, like for example, $2.90 to $3, have the potential to prevent the price even hitting the price target, which is why we cannot ignore resistance. Obviously, we can't just rely everything on this one single price target. We need to pay attention to many different factors. But right now, technically speaking, we're actually bouncing from a little bit of short-term support right here based on previous resistance and previous support right here, flipping into new support once again, and that's sitting at approximately $2.50, around $2.49 to $2.50. But if we break back below that level, then of course, in the immediate short term, that would be some bad news. In that case, we'll likely come back down towards around $2.38 approximately. We do have some support right there. And in that situation, and especially if we break back below these lows right here at around $2.34 to $2.38, if we break back below that area on the price chart, technically speaking, that would completely invalidate this breakout and invalidate this price target and this pattern. And so, of course, as I explained in my last altcoin video just yesterday, we need to be aware of where those points of invalidations are actually sitting at so that we can potentially use a stop loss around those points to avoid any further losses if the trade goes bad. And ideally, personally, when it comes to my trading strategies, ideally, when the trade moves further and further into profits, I just slowly move my stop loss at least to my entry and ideally into profits so that in the worst case scenario, if we just dump for whatever reason, I still come away with profits. So by doing that, even if the price just dumps right here, you can still make money in crypto. And as for other levels of short-term resistance, of course, we still have that major resistance at around $2.90 to $3. But when it comes to shorter-term resistance to watch out for in case we see another bounce back up here, expect some resistance around this latest high right here at around $2.70 to $2.71 approximately. So expect some resistance right there. But if we break out back above around $2.70, give or take, then in that case, expect the next resistance potentially at around $2.78 based on these candle closes, and then above that, more resistance at around $2.85, and then above that, of course, the much larger resistance in between $2.90 to $3. And so that is the situation for the longer term and the shorter term for the price of XRP right now, and the important levels to watch out for in the short term. And so overall, we're technically still seeing, as of recording this video, we're technically still seeing bullish price structure with higher lows and higher highs. So at least for now, this has not been invalidated. But if we start breaking below some of those key levels that I just mentioned, then in that case, we'll be reversing in the immediate short term. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the 3-day time frame, of course, Solana is also getting close to reversing from bullish price structure into bearish price structure, as I've been warning about for a while now on the channel, because if we break back below around 200 to 210, then in that case, that would be a very bearish signal for Solana, likely resulting in much more bearish price action in the coming weeks and months. Because if we break back below around $200, give or take, then in that case, we'll be breaking back into this massive sideways price range right here. So essentially, we'll be losing all of this bullish momentum, losing this breakout, and going backwards on the price chart to where we were previously. And so in that situation, if we lose $200 as an important level of support, in that case, we'll likely see at least a pullback back down towards around $180 to $185. And below that, of course, we have this center line right here for this previous sideways price range at close to 160 to 165, also acting as some support. And below that, honestly, we could retrace all the way back down towards the lower range of this previous sideways price range at around $130, give or take, if we were to lose 200. So like I've been saying for a while now on the channel, that is a critical level on the price chart, 200 to 210 for the coming weeks or months if we lose that level. And of course, if we're zooming into the shorter term, we've already been bearish for some time. As I've been warning about over and over again here on the channel, Solana is bearish in the short term, trending clearly in the bearish direction, forming lower highs and lower lows, which is bearish price structure. And for quite some time now, we've been breaking below key levels of support and rejecting time after time from important levels of resistance, which is also bearish price structure. And so once again, as I've been saying for quite a while now on the channel, I would only start to even flip bullish on Solana in the short term if we at least see a breakout back above around $232. But ideally, I'd like to see a breakout back above around $246 before I'd start to flip much more bullish again in the short term on the price of Solana. Until then, we are simply bearish in the short term for Solana. And in case you're wondering, this descending line of resistance is currently sitting at around $226, and this descending line of support is currently sitting at around $197, so close to $200. We also have a bit of short-term resistance right here at around $222 to $223, and above that we have more resistance at $232, and we do have a bit of short-term support right here based on these lows and this previous low at around $215, give or take, and below that more support at around 205, which is really that price range, that area of support in between 200 to 210 that I mentioned earlier. And if you want to actually trade these moves in the price of any crypto, once again, check out those links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto so that you can profit from all of this price action, whether it's bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.